Welcome, everybody, on a Saturday. Thank you for tuning in to Real Estate with Ryan. I'm Ryan Coleman in the house, talking a little real estate on a Saturday. What's better than that? 2 weeks from now, it's Christmas time. Ho, ho, ho. It's that time of the season. And I was just talking to April before I got on the show. So with everything going on, COVID and just crazy 2020, we're days from putting 2020 in the rearview mirror. And I know that people couldn't be more pleased to get rid of 2020 and what 2021 has to bring in store. So we really weren't sure. So before we get into the show, I was talking about, okay, what are we going to do for Christmas? I don't know if you guys, I was in the living room and I was chatting with April, and she was like, look, honey. And then she shows like a commercial, and they have the kids seeing Santa Claus. Well, with everything going on and so much going on in my life, our company, and helping so many different people, I really just forgot about Santa Claus. Like, what are you doing, Ryan? And they said, well, Santa Claus is behind the big plexiglass. And I said, that really doesn't give the wow factor of that Christmas. And I said, I know it's different. So I don't think Kinsley listens to the show too much, or Isaac. He's 9 months old. So yours truly is going to be Santa Claus this year. We have to improvise this year. So April's got me my Santa gear. I've already got the belly. Doesn't even need to worry about that. Don't need to order that. Got the beard. And I'm going to be Santa Claus. We can't skip out Santa Claus, especially my 9-month-old. So what do you do this year in 2020? You improvise. What do you do? Hey, you got to do what you got to do. Ho, ho, ho. So I'm working on my ho, ho, ho. April says I need to get deeper. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. As always, we got a good show for you. We're talking a little real estate. We're winding down. I don't know about you guys. I'm almost over real estate and work. We just do it all the time. But you know what? That's what we love to do. We enjoy it. Like every job, every business, it has its moments. Soon, we're going to be in that holiday season, and we're going to be taking it easy and excited to experience a lot of closings and a lot of congrats. You know, we talked about it last week. We talked about helping some people. Well, there's a lot of people getting a brand new home for Christmas, and we're so excited to not only help them maybe sell their home, they're getting a new one, or they're downsizing, or they're relocating for a great job. But I got some congrats here. And just in case I didn't catch you last week, I want to make sure we take care of you this week. Congratulations to the people on Wheeler Streets, my great clients there. They're closing on Monday and getting into their new home. Congratulations to my grandfather-in-law, April's granddad, purchasing a new home for him over in Newbert. Congrats. Family and friends over in Beaver Creek, some land they're planning to build. Congrats to them. Our Thomases, congratulations on the purchase of your new home and the sale of yours over in Zinc. Arcadia, congratulations on your new land purchase. That's going to be an exciting build to a great client, and we're so excited for you, and I can't wait to see that finished product in the next couple of years. So congratulations to this guy in my office on the purchase of his new home coming up here on Water Oak. Got congratulations to the clients on Hilltop, Draw Ridge. Tara's helping them and taking great care of them. North Chatham Road, congrats to the purchase or sale of your home. Pretty in record time, I think less than a week. Forest Circle, up in a couple of days, sold. New Branch, I think we had to sell that. New Clear Branch, we had to sell it twice, but that's going to be closing here right at the end of the year. Hobble Lane, congratulations. Pocahontas, you just went under contract. We're excited from you. Great client from Texas coming in town. Texas is in the news right about now, so what did they say? Don't mess with Texas. And then Black Fox Harbor. So a lot of congrats. Thank you, guys. Hope you're enjoying your new home coming up in the Christmas holiday season, and so glad that we and our team could be part of that process and walk you from start to finish. So we're going to busy show. First half, we're going to talk about, probably carrying into the second half, what is our disclaimer notice? So if you bought a home before, you probably filled out a bunch of realtor forms, not really knowing what they all are, and it can be overwhelming. It seems like in the last 20 or 30 years that you bought a home, I remember that the paperwork was very simple, that it was like a one-pager. And if you guys have been in the game for a while, you remember it has like the carbon copies where you tear it off and you'd write through it, and then they would, it would be like the regular copy is ours, and then like the yellow copy is the client's, and the pink, I don't know where the pink one went, but we had like 3 copies. If that tells you how long I've been doing it, that's just, wow, that's crazy, 21 years. And so now it seems like as there's more litigation and the lawyers are involved, there's like more and more forms. Used to be the closing, you go to the table and it's just the deed. It's simple. Now we're there for hours. Seller's there for at least 30 minutes signing paperwork, just part of the process. Well, when you purchase a home in the market, buying or selling, you're going to come across these forms. And a lot of times that your agents have went through them. And do you read them all? Do you don't read them all? And how do they apply? Well, we're going to talk about that today. One of the biggest forms we have is our disclaimer notice. We say, Ryan, how does that come into play? And how would that help me with the purchase of my home? Or Ryan, what am I disclaiming? What's my notice? What do I need to know? Well, we're going to talk about that, Real Estate with Ryan. And then the second part of the show, we're going to go over some numbers. Yes, it's at the end of December. And I know everybody's watched the news and you watch different things, but I'm going to give you the real numbers to see how East Tennessee, the Knoxville market is holding up year over year to compare to 2019. We're going to look at condos. We're going to look at Knox. We're going to look at Loudoun County. We're looking at surrounding areas to kind of see what we're looking at and what we're projecting for 2021. So again, if you guys are tuning in for the first time, catching me on the radio, my name's Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty, founder, owner. Of course, the real boss is not here. That's my lovely wife, April Coleman. And of course, we're here every Saturday talking a little real estate. If you ever guys need to find us online, we're on Facebook, social media, Instagram. And of course, we're streaming this on social media in case you missed it or didn't catch us on the radio. We're on 2 radio shows. We're on Talk Radio, great show, and News Talk. So we're 11 o'clock on Talk Radio, 1 o'clock on News Talk. So if you're out and about doing a little holiday shopping, make sure you tune in. Love to have you. Thank you for tuning in. And of course, did I mention that we're great sponsors of the Vols? And so excited to see the men's basketball start off with a win, and we're getting back going on in the right track. So excited to stay with us. Let's talk about this disclaimer. What is a disclaimer? Well, one of the first things on the form is structural conditions of the property. Oh, so that sounds kind of scary. What that means is if you're going to buy a property, some of these things are saying, listen, you got to get your own professionals. And if we get into, let's say we just had a property that had some horizontal cracking or some foundation issues, that the licensee, the real estate firms, some of the home inspectors probably too, are not your professionals that you need to. You need to rely on that structural engineer and consult with them. It's important because a lot of the opportunity out there or the possibility of liability is going to be left on the person that does the inspection. So these forms are just basically a catch-all that says that, hey, basically the licensees or the real estate people don't do that. So it's so important in today's market that you have a great agent if you're purchasing that's working with you from start to finish. And we can guide you through these things that come in. If you're selling, there's more importantly that you need to know not only your property disclosure, but these things of where we may need to delegate and get a professional in. And we'll get into that as well. So let's talk about the structural inspection briefly. There's some great engineers in town. We've used Quorum and some other guys out there, not name dropping, but they do a great job. And when you have something like that, it's important that if you're going to put your home on the market, if there is some cracking in foundation, you want to address it on the front end. Number one of the biggest deals you could ever come across is the pictures, the marketing's there, and we come up to the home and then there's a big foundation crack. And it may be just settling, but the question is, it's going to turn off buyers really, really quickly. And then there's the liability. Well, from there, do I need to disclose it or not? That's why you want to get your structural engineer, get them to give you a letter, give you a certification. They usually range $200 to $300 in that range. And if there's any repairs, go ahead and make those repairs on the front end. That way we're not dealing with those during the inspection. When we just sold, we recently did that, and we're about to put on the market, and we took it back about 2 weeks. He followed our advice, executed the strategy, had all the documentation. We just got through the inspection and everything's going to work out perfectly. But a lot of that was preparation. And we had a great client that was listening to his agent. You know, it was funny. We were talking on the radio a little bit before I got on the radio, and I was chatting with an agent and we were doing a deal. And he said, you know, Ryan, it's funny in this market how it's so fast paced. And it's kind of funny. Now, clients don't get upset that the clients really hire the agents, and we were talking about that, but then they never listen to the agents. It's kind of like my daughter never listens to anything I say. It's like, daddy, daddy, daddy. I was like, pick up your toys. It's like, never listens to me, right? But remember, guys, in this real estate market that's moving fast, one of the things I think that I want you guys to focus on is that you guys hire your professionals. You hire your trusted advisors. You got to lean on them. You got to trust them. I know everybody wants to go, Monday morning quarterback, and everybody's the real estate broker, and they know how to do this and that. But when we tell you that there's multiple offers, we need to come in stronger. Trust them, because that's going to be the difference from getting the property and not. We're coming on a break. Stay with us. We've got more with you on Real Estate with Ryan.
Knoxville and East Tennessee. The region is known for its rolling hills, rivers, and lakes. There's no better place to work, live, or raise a family. Home is where your story begins. Buying or selling your home is a big decision, and you need a real estate team you can trust.
I'm Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty, your hometown experts. Whether you're buying or selling a home, let us develop.
Your friend promised we wouldn't be homeless.
He promised. He's doing everything to fix it.
You need to call and have him fix it now.
Hey, man.
Found us a house.
No, not yet. Let me call you back. We're working on it.
Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty.
He says he's doing the best he can do, honey.
Well, he's taking too long. I knew we should have gone with Ryan Coleman.
Choosing the right agent is never easy.
Call your hometown experts. We'll take care of all the details and make sure you don't get stuck in a motel. All right, we're right back at you. See, I start talking and I get going, and before you know it, half the show is gone. I guess that's why I'm on the radio. I guess I can do this with just a couple minutes notice. My wife always tell me, Ryan, you'll never have a problem talking. You just talk to me all day long. He laughed. She just said, I'll get it home at night. Hey, guys, it's the holidays. We're just talking about a little bit of everything. And we were chatting, and I talked to my wife, and she was like, just keep talking, honey. And hey, are you listening? Hey, honey, are you listening? April, are you going to sleep? She was like, you're soothing me. You're making me go to sleep. Your calm, soothing voice. I was like, really? I was like, come on, man. Can't get a break at home. So anyway, listen, you're tuning in, caught the first part of the show. We're going over the form called the disclaimer. One of the forms that if you're going to buy or sell in real estate in East Tennessee, that you're going to sign, and you need to know what it covers. We're talking about structural inspections. But actually, we were leaning into how you need to trust your agent. And we just lost this offer. And it's a great client of mine, super guy. But it just had me kind of brought it to the forefront and say, hey, listen, you guys are hiring great agents. You guys are working with people that you trust, hopefully, right? And they've got your best interest. Do me a favor. Trust them through the process. I just left a client's house a few minutes ago. We were helping them with their HVAC and things. And in this market, as it's always changing, you'll never find the news or the sales. They're always 90 to 120 days behind the scenes. And as we're approaching January and going the first quarter of 2021, it's important that you work with your agent. So if your agent says, hey, we need to make a price adjustment because this is what we're seeing on the market, you really need to take that in stride. I know everybody hears it's just a seller's market. Everything's hot. 100 multiple offers. We sell a large number of homes. And that is the case on some properties, but not every one. And so it really comes down to that, it's simple. I say if it's simple because I wouldn't be doing it right. Real estate is a meeting of the minds. We got to have a buyer and a seller that want to tango. They want to do that dance. And we've got to get them to do that dance that makes sense. It's a win for the seller and a win for the buyer. And in a market where we're at, where let's say we put the home on the market and we've got a lot of activity and no offers, well, there could be something there, especially in a market where we're at. Could it be December? It could be. Could it just be the normal process? Could it be the elections? Could it be COVID spiking up? Now the kids are pulling back. Now we talk about that consumer confidence. Are people getting nervous? Those things come into play. So trust your agents when you're working in the real estate process. I know go off a little bit of a tangent on that, but one of the frustrating things that we have is we get great clients that are ready to do something and they just don't listen to us. And I'm sure that's with the best intentions. But remember, if you hire a team or you delegate that task to help you, you got to trust that advisor. If I get with my tax advisor and I know more than my tax advisor and I don't listen to anything he says, well, Ryan, why don't you do your own taxes? So you got to trust your team that you put in. I'm not saying don't challenge them, impress them. What I'm saying is, though, at the end of the day, where the rubber meets the road, you're going to find that right property or the difference between losing a sale. I just lost 2 sales. They didn't listen to me. But I mean, it's not my money. So I understand. But, you know, you got to trust your expert that if we tell you you're $20,000 overpriced and you got a cash closing here in a couple of weeks, you might not want to lose that deal because they're hard sometimes to come back through. And you know that always saying in real estate, that first offer or two, I'll say offer or two, could be your best offer. That's where you want to be. It may be an indication of the market, okay? We're talking about condition of roofing. Keep in mind that when you do a roof, the inspectors sometimes won't even climb on the roof. So it's important that you get a roofing inspector if there's any question on roof loss. One of the biggest things we come up on inspections on the roof is that the roof has 15 years, 20 years. It's close to the end of life, and lenders just need about 2 years life expectancy on it. So what do you do when you get in that position? That's another negotiation that we won't talk about now, but it's important that you know the inspector sometimes will not be able to tell you that, and they will delegate to that roofer. Home inspections, very, very important. One of the most important things you can do, inspecting your home with the right inspector, with the right knowledge that can give you the advice of that if you need to hire additional inspections. So our advice is always to hire an inspector first, well early in the time frame, so that if you need a structural inspection, if you need a radon, if you need a roofing inspection or a chimney inspection, right, we can do that ahead of time, and we're not doing it last minutes. And our termites, bugs, we always have some bugs or termites or some old evidence of termites. Again, these are things that you're going to delegate into that. Environmental hazards, let's just talk about radon. It comes up, it happens all the time. So know that that is something that you need to check. More than likely, if you do that radon test, there's a process. It's nothing to be overwhelming about, but it's important to know, especially if you have kids, family, or just yourself. I'm sure you don't want a bunch of radon in the house. There's a process. You need to delegate it. Also, when you do that process, understand that you need a company that understands how to do that throughout the process. Now, I'm going to talk about this a little bit, and we may end up a good part of the show on it, but we'll go two major points that I want to hit before we go too long. So square footage, and this has come up on multiple different things. We just had it come up on one of our great clients' purchase, and the purchase of the home that we got into a multiple bid on was 800 square feet, 700 or 800 square feet. That's a lot off. Now, the challenge was we went to the county's tax records, and the records showed exactly what we thought that was. We do the appraisal, and it comes back 800 square feet less. One of the concerns our clients had is they were paying above market. And in a couple years, when they spend another $20,000 into the property, guess what? They may be underwater. They may not be able to get out from under it. So there's many ways of measuring square footage, and the reality is it says it's not guaranteed, and you want to have a licensed appraiser measure it. We have companies that will come out and measure it. We have some devices in our own company that we can take images, 3D scans, and do a floor plan for you on the property to give you approximate minus closets. So we have a lot of options out there. We encourage you, if you think that the property is not easily to be measured, some of our luxury properties or properties that are cut up, and the upstairs was cut up on this one. It wasn't very easy to see. And they were off. So we were able to luckily negotiate a little bit lower price because of that and worked out in his favor, and everything's closing. But I want to encourage you guys that if you're purchasing a property, especially when you start getting $10,000, $9,000, some of these luxury properties, get an appraisal. If not, we have companies, you want to make sure that they're measured. Not that the real estate agents who have to measure them, that's not our job. That's not our skilled profession. And that's why we get everybody to sign these, but it's important for you, the buyer and seller. And again, just meeting with one of my clients before, and this is a smaller variance, but we were putting this home on the market, and what we compared the home to comes back to be about 10%, 200, 300 square feet less once we start moving forward on the process. And that makes it challenging, because then if you're 200 or 300 square feet off, guess what? You're not comparing apples to apples, and that's a big difference. So especially when the sellers are really maximizing their price. So keep it in mind, if you're purchasing, you may want to get your square footage measured, or it's something that you want to take in if the home is hard to measure. I'll talk about this, and we'll probably end the show on this real quickly. We have kids, very, very important. If you're purchasing a property, there's a state website to look up sexual offenders and things about that in your area. Very, very important. You won't see a lot of it, and I really encourage you to do that. I'm in the business. I didn't think about it. People move, and these sites get updated. I just found out down the street that we have somebody that's accused of that kind of stuff with kids, literally down the street from my house. And my wife walked into the living room panicking at 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning. So I don't know what you can do about it other than when you're purchasing a property, make sure you're checking that. Make sure you're not moving next to one of those predators or things. Knowledge is power. Very, very important. I'm going to run through some sales here quickly. Year-over-year comparison, and we're going to go residential sales. Let's go Knox County. From last year to this year, we're down about 2%. Union, 8%. Anderson County, 12%. Loudoun County, 1%. Sevier County, 1%. And we're up about 10% on the sales price. So a lot of that's inventory levels down. But to give you a track, East Tennessee is staying consistent. And so we're a little bit down in some areas. Rural areas are seeing much more activity, and as you could wonder. Every Saturday we come to you with Real Estate with Ryan. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Check us out, Ryan Coleman or Hometown Realty. You can find us there for the up-to-date information on the real estate market. Thank you for watching this show. Proud sponsors of the Vols and your hometown experts. We love you guys. Have a great holiday. See you next week.